Alrighty. So yeah, you asked me a question, Tim.
Yes, I was asking, what do men value in a relationship, and then what do they value from not being in a relationship?
So that's a great question. What men value from a relationship, men value different things, but I'm gonna go and speak to the core primal aspect of every man, and then every man's ego is different. On a core level, when it comes to a men want a woman. They want a good woman when it comes to the relationship side. Every man wants a beautiful woman that is for them, that understands their life, that understands their journey, and can help them move toward some destination. If you're a businessman and you find a woman that's helping you achieve more in business, that's beautiful. That's building what you're doing. That's great. If you're somebody that's active, likes to be in the woods, likes to camp, you want somebody that will be interested in that, and that's like, yeah, let's go and let me get these kind of tools. If you're a person who's in the street life, there's street guys and guys that have been in jail that want somebody that understands their world. Women, they want to have somebody. They might be on the darker side of life, so you'll notice a lot of those guys might be more attracted to women that may be strippers, or that might have had a lot of challenges, and together they can understand the darker world together and learn from each other in that realm. So every man wants somebody that can complement them and almost be like a feminine version or reflection that's doing the feminine side of things, but is still reflecting the energy and understands them. That's the key. Understands their world. And then for women, for men, when we talk about the single life, also when it comes to relationships, men, when they really like a woman, once they find a woman they really like, they don't want her to be out there with other guys. So that's really what triggers them to build a relationship, is that they don't want to take a risk of losing you, or of when that one special thing is there, they want to make sure it's kept and protected and not with other men. Because on the deep psychological level, there's been a lot of trauma in our ancestors' generation of the love that they've encountered, and how tough things can be with love. Other men taking a woman from a tribe, hundreds of thousands of years ago, or thousands of years ago. So it's a level where I want someone that's 100% for me, and that's with me, and nobody else that's in my tribe that's reflecting my energy and helping me build. But the thing is, on the flip side, what men love about the single life is that you have the ability to build relationships with as many women as possible. As a man, you have time to yourself, because in relationships, men want a certain thing, but then in order to keep that, it requires a lot of energy, emotional intelligence, savviness, a lot of self-development. So to be in a relationship, it's pretty heavy, especially in a lot of cases, especially when we add in children, emotions. On the single side of things, men love the freedom. They're not hurting anybody's heart. They're not being called a cheater. They're not being called a liar. They're not arguing all the time. They can float. And that is something that every man, that's integral to him, because he has to be free. He has to be able to say, if I feel like going here, I'm gonna go there. Because how do you feel if you can't go nowhere because your girl's not letting you? Or how do you feel if you're always arguing or having negative entanglements with a woman? It's really making you more feminine, really. You're not your masculine power. So when men hang with guys, that's what they do. They just chill. They don't do anything. It's not like super deep. It's like fun, light. When it's time to go, all right, I'll see y'all later, peace. Boom. And we'll do it again tomorrow, whatever. So, or have shared goals with your guys, like, man, you know what I mean? So with guys love the single life because of the freedom, also because you get the opportunity to deal with as many beautiful women as you want. So you're able to have freedom. You're not cheating on nobody, like I said. It is a situation where, you get to have fun. Because when women have a hard time, I think what a lot of women don't understand is that men, a different experience when men are dealing with different women. You know, it builds their masculine energy. They have to be even more savvy, even more sharp, even more lovable. You know, it creates great conversations, and they begin to be the cause point of the fun. So it's very empowering for a man to be able to explore and tap into that magic and ability that he has. You know what I mean? Without being judged negatively for it. In a relationship, you're going to be judged negatively for expressing that aspect of yourself to a degree. When you're single, you're not. So at the end of the day, the judgment that comes in relationships is what makes being single so great. But then the companionship, you know, the long-term companionship is what the man sacrifices the freedom in order to attain, because he wants to build with somebody moving towards something higher. So that's really what I say. It's important, I think, for women to know, be the person in his life that brings him up, that helps him move towards something. Build a common goal with the man that you want. Share a common goal with the man that you want. More so than arguing and being negatively entangled with them, because if that's the case, the single life has a lot to offer. You know, so.
Okay, and one last question. So let's say you are a woman and you are building up with this man and you are that woman in his life, but he still wants to express some of that other side of him that you would see more so when he's single. What would I guess you say to a woman in that, like, if she's experiencing something like that?
I would just tell her, do you want half of the man or do you want the full man? You know what I mean? If you want half of the man, he's gonna have to compartmentalize himself and separate a side of himself, and so that he can give you the full version of one side. But if you deny the other side, if you resent it, if you hate it, then you're hating a true aspect in his nature, and that almost is like you hate men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's almost like male hate now, which is a lot of out there. So the same thing is in reverse. You know, as a man, you gotta accept the positive, beautiful, light side of a woman, but you also gotta accept the dark side, the side that might not be the most developed, the insecurities, the arguments, the doubts, you know what I mean? You gotta understand that aspect and accept both if you want to be able to be in a relationship with a woman. So if a woman wants to be in a relationship with the man, she has to embrace the positive aspects of it and the negative aspects of it. You know, I'm not saying to embrace it necessarily, but, you know, understand it and respect it. Understand it and respect it.
Okay.